Division I. UMass 5-4. Wally Ritecki set to throw the ball into the air. We're glad you're with us on a special night in Amherst. It's going to be Thibodeau who wins the jump. So the University of New Orleans has the first crack at it as we look at it, moving from left to right. The UMass Sports Network, Josh Maurer, Tim Collins. To buckle in, a special evening here on Jack Lehman Court. Immediately, here's Tevin Broyles, the third guard, cut off at the foul line by Clark. So he got it back to Christavius Gill and had it knocked away inside. Diving on the sideline was UMass's Zach Coleman. Got it over to Dante Clark. Players dive on the floor. They call a held ball, and the arrow belongs to UMass. It's kind of a crazy sequence there. Thibodeau ended up getting charged with a turnover. UMass adds its first possession in a scoreless game.
And a nice job by Zach Coleman getting on the floor, almost making a great play. If he could have gotten that pass to Clark, UMass would have had a fast break, but here we go, first possession of the game.
UMass has gotten off to some really tough starts the last two games in Florida. See if they can turn that around here tonight. Trey Davis top of the key. Now Coleman at the top, throws inside immediately to Holloway, who's fouled, banks it up, banks it in, count it. Holloway taking advantage of his size mismatch over Trayvon Thibodeau, scores to make it 2-0, and he'll get a free throw.
And kind of what we suspected, going to Holloway early. Ninth game of his young career. I think he's earned enough trust of his teammates, getting good position and showing that he can finish at the hoop, and they reward him. First possession of the game, they go right to him.
Missed the free throw, though, and Trayvon Thibodeau, surprise starter tonight, got the rebound, then he turned it over at midcourt, taken away from him by Davis. 2-0 UMass. Now Clark to Trey Davis, left wing. Pump fakes, drives, got to the rim, got Thibodeau to bite, and Thibodeau crashes into Trey. A foul is called. And the starting center, Trayvon Thibodeau, already has 2 fouls. So it's going to be 2 shots for Trey Davis. Nope, not shot. Wow, non-shooting foul.
Not shooting injury. They must have thought he was going to pass the ball. But regardless, a forgettable 55 seconds to start for Thibodeau. 2 fouls and an ugly turnover that time. He just lost the ball right into the hands of Trey.
Can take him right out. And here comes Lamine Mbouge, man out of Senegal in Africa. UMass gets it in ahead 2-0 after the foul. They go to Holloway in the middle of the lane. He'll attack, banks it up softly and missed. The rebound that time, UNO, and we're going to get a foul called against UMass as Eric Thomas grabbed the rebound, and Holloway gets a personal with 18:59 remaining in the first half.
Point blank missed that time for the freshman. Got the ball right in the middle, power move. Kind of overwhelmed his man, but just couldn't finish at the rim on the right side.
And so it's going to be UNO inbounding against full court pressure, trailing 2-0. They get it in, and here comes Nate Fry. He's their point guard, a junior. Beats the press. Pass goes up ahead to Christavius Gill, and he is fouled before he could go up. Got bumped into that time by Coleman. Nope. Holloway's got 2 fouls, and so both starting centers, 2 fouls in the first minute plus. Out he goes. Malik Hines, fellow freshman, comes in to replace Rashawn.
We'll see if this is an opportunity for Hines maybe to extend his minutes here.
UNO inbounds, fresh 30, trailing 2-0. Holloway, who has the only 2 points, now on the bench. Nate Fry, point guard, diminutive guy. They list him at 6'1". Not sure he's quite that tall. Pass goes to the left baseline here, and a floater by Tevin Broyles is short from the left. A rebound by Trey Davis for UMass on an 8-foot miss. Ahead 2-0. Davis up to Clark. Into the lane, kick to the left corner for Jabari Hines. 3-pointer, no good. It was open. Rebounded by Eric Thomas in his first ever start for UNO tonight. JUCO transfer Thomas got it up ahead, and the point guard Fry slows it up. 2-0 UMass. Double team Fry on the right wing. Behind the stripe, gets it off for Tevin Broyles. He missed last possession. Broyles passes back, and here is the leading scorer, Christavius Gill. Gill inside the arc, takes it 2. Trey Davis blocks that shot. Ball saved in bounds, though, right to Eric Thomas of UNO, and he has a layup, and he makes it. UMass saved it right to Thomas, I think, Tim. Tied at 2. Ball knocked out of bounds from Trey Davis. Stays with UMass on the other end. What happened there, Tim?
It's just like pinball. Trey Davis made a great play to block the shot of Gill that time. Kind of deflected to the short corner. UMass never maintained it. Fell right into New Orleans players' hands.
So it'll be an inbounds pass from the sideline. 2-2 game, and Dante Clark's pass knocked away by Thomas and stolen. Nate Fry coming back. Great pass over Thomas, and he lays it in. Eric Thomas, first 2 buckets for UNO. They lead 4-2. That came off a turnover on the inbounds play. 17:45 remaining in the half.
You mentioned you got to be careful with the ball. New Orleans scrambles. They force 17-plus turnovers a game, so you got to be ready for the quick hands.
Jabari Hines has it on the left corner. Missed his first shot of three. He'll take it into the middle. Tough, wild bank shot. Hit only the backboard, but an offensive rebound. Malik Hines brought the ball down, had it stolen away from him by Eric Thomas. Here comes New Orleans ahead 4-2. After that miss, the Minutemen now 1 for 4.
Yeah, Jabari changed his mind. He was going to pass it. It wasn't there. He was hung up in midair, tried to throw in a crazy shot.
On the other end, Nate Fry to the right baseline. Double team, throws it wildly across the court to Tevin Broyles. Broyles has it with 8 to shoot, 30 feet away. Now moves to the middle. Thomas sets the screen. Broyles dribbled off of his foot, and it goes out of bounds for a turnover. He put it right off of his shoe. Break for UMass. So it's going to be Minutemen ball with just about exactly 17 minutes remaining in the half. Tim, in the 2 games in Florida, first last Tuesday at UCF, UMass started 1 for 10 from the field. Then on Sunday at Florida Gulf Coast, they started 1 for 12 from the field. And we get an illegal screen here as UMass dribbles across the time stripe. It's going to be Malik Hines. Turnover and a personal.
Yeah, we've seen a few of those from Malik already this year, and he gets good position. He's got his feet set. It's just when he leans into him to set that screen, he tries to kind of brace himself and lay a little force into that screen, but that's an easy call for the referees, and another turnover for UMass.
Eric Thomas has both baskets for the Privateers. They've got it back leading 4-2. Tyler Bergantino checked in for the Minutemen. Hines went out after the illegal screen, and on the other end, got a foul, an illegal screen right back on UNO. Turnover. That's going to be Lamine Mboj, the man out of Senegal, called away from the ball.
Not a lot of pretty hoops so far early in this one. I hope both teams here can settle in.
Trey Davis, top of the key, around a Bergantino screen, takes the three, and he missed it no good. Rebound pulled down. Coleman Edwards, reserve guard, is checked in for Coach Schlesinger. Brings it across, leading 4-2. Another slow offensive start for UMass. One of the right block they go. It's Mboj, a fadeaway, no good. And a foul against the Privateers coming on the rebound. That time they picked up Eric Thomas, so he gets his first. Also in off the bench is Cameron Reed, a freshman guard for Coach Schlesinger. Also here comes Michael Zeno, who's normally been a starter for them. First time all year he's coming off the bench. 4-2 Privateers. UMass 1 for 5 from the floor. UNO 2 for 5. Jabari Hines at the top of the key has it, coming off a curl to get the passes. Dante Clark, he'll step into a top of the key 2-pointer. That rattles in and out. Rebound to UNO. Here comes Nate Fry, their point guard, going all the way at Jabari Hines. Banks it up, missed it off the glass. And a rebound by Dante Clark for UMass, trailing 4-2. Up to Trey Davis, now to the left side. Jabari Hines, pump fakes, got cut off, so a pass to the left wing for Davis. Pump fakes, goes to the rim, tried to pass. That got deflected and stolen by Fry. 4-2 UNO, and they bring it across with 15:40 left in the half. Cross court, they find an open man. 3 for Coleman Edwards, no good from the left. Offensive rebound by Michael Zeno, and he banks it in. And it's 6-2 New Orleans. 15.5 to go here in the half, a 6-0 run.
Well, all too familiar start for UMass. The offense struggling, just 1 for 7. 2 turnovers already.
Dante Clark, pass into the middle for Coleman. Caught it at the rim, goes up. Coleman banks it in, count it. No, offensive foul on Clark. As he was passing to Coleman, make that another turnover, and it remains.
Honoring Cal, and a lot of guys came out. We had a good time, and we made the trek over here to Amherst to the game tonight. So feels good to be back on campus.
We're going to be visiting with Marcus here during this stretch. 6-2 New Orleans. They get the ball inbounds. Coleman Edwards has the ball. Hands it off for Cameron Reed, reserve guard, a 2-pointer. Got it. Reed gets his first basket. It is 8-2, the Privateers. UMass coming back across from right to left in those throwback uniforms, which I'm sure you appreciate.
I definitely appreciate it. I actually got one. They made one for me, so I'm happy and appreciative of that.
Jabari Hines got fouled. A little hand check called against Coleman Edwards. Yeah, the cursive U in the UMass.
Yes.
To make you think of your old playing days?
Definitely a throwback right there. The cursive U.
C.J. Anderson is in off the bench for Coach Kellogg. Came in to replace Dante Clark. Seth Berger also into the timeout. He's been great the last 3 games. In fact, you could argue UMass's most productive player during the losing streak, Berger. Trey Davis driving on the left side, pulls up from 10 and hits it. That'll make it 8-4, and then inbounds pass dropped by Coleman Edwards and stolen by Trey Davis, who's fouled immediately. The foul against Edwards, who committed the turnover. So UMass trailing 8-4. He's going to get the ball back off a turnover.
Well,
Tim?
Trey needed to get one to go, and UMass needed to break the streak here early of their struggles shooting the ball. Now, Marcus, tell us you're in Houston now, right?
Yes, I'm down in Houston now. Yes. Migrated down there.
Do you watch you still get to Rockets games, get to NBA games down there?
Yeah, I still go down a few games when the big teams come in town.
Hines missed, but the rebound tipped right to Seth Berger, and he puts it back in to make it 8-6. He's talking about how well Berger's been playing. 11.3 points per game the last 3. So he scores on his first shot. New Orleans beats some press, get an open man. Cameron Reed, 3-pointer good. The left wing for Reed. That'll make it 11-6. UMass racing across. They get it to Trey Davis, who goes into the paint. Tough, wild bench shot is good with a right hand. Davis hits, and now it's 11-8. UMass trailed by 6 earlier. It's starting to get back into it. Berger almost stole it away there from Tevin Broyles. Broyles got it back, gets a return feed. Broyles cuts in, banks it in, and it's 13-8 UNO as Broyles scores. UMass beats it up ahead. Trey Davis, left wing 3, no good. The rebound offensive, though, in the right corner by Tyler Bergantino. Gets it over to Jabari Hines. UMass on the reset, trailing by 5 as we visit with Marcus Camby. Trey Davis gets the left baseline to the rim, and he banks it in. Davis able to hit. Suddenly, he's got 3 quick baskets. It's 13-10. UNO beating press. Underneath, they get it. Back up big man Zeno kicks it out. Another 3 for Cameron Reed is good. 16-10 Privateers. Not giving you any time to talk.
I know. Nice fast-paced action going on.
You ever thought about doing any broadcasting?
I've been asked a lot to do it, but I don't think I'm qualified just yet.
I told him we'd send the tapes to TNT for his tryout.
Here's a foul, non-shooting against UNO as Trey Davis gets bumped into by Tevin Broyles. It's 16-10. New Orleans, they've gotten a couple of 3s during this stretch from reserve guard freshman Cameron Reed. So how is life in retirement from basketball treating you? I imagine it's got to be such a difference.
It's definitely a change for me. After playing for 18 years now, I have all this ample free time on my hands. But my kids are doing a good job of keeping me busy, and definitely when Friday starts winter break, so I expect to be extremely busy.
It was a 1-and-1. That was 17 fouls against UNO, and Trey missed the front end, but then New Orleans commits a foul on the rebound. They fouled Seth Berger, so there's 8 fouls. 16-10 New Orleans, and it'll be a 1-and-1 for Berger. I know that you got a barber shop going on.
I have a barber shop. I have a real estate company, and I have a lawn service company. So I'm keeping busy.
I don't know how you keep track of all that. And another miss on a front end of a 1-and-1. Berger missed. New Orleans the rebound. Deep 2-point jumper good by Michael Zeno. My goodness, it is 18-10 Privateers. And right now they can't miss. 12.5 minutes remaining in the first half. Second basket off the bench for Michael Zeno. There's Jabari Hines for the Minutemen. Over to C.J. Anderson, left wing. Now on the left side, Seth Berger. Back to Hines. One more, Trey Davis. Davis at the top of the key. Goes through the middle, and he traveled. Took an extra step without a dribble. Turnover with 12:10 remaining in the first half. Marcus Camby with us. When you look up over to our left and you see the 5 retired numbers that hang on the wall here at Mullins, and you see your number 21, what is that like when you walk into this building?
I mean, it's definitely surreal. There's a lot of people have to thank along the way. A lot of great teammates I played with that helped me achieve that goal. So I'm very blessed and thankful.
Left baseline jumper is good again by Zeno. It is 20-10. They beat press. New Orleans on a big-time run here.
And they're playing loose right now.
Yes.
Fast and loose right now, and they're knocking down some shots.
11:50 remaining in the half. C.J. Anderson has it for UMass, trailing by double figures in the first half for a 3rd straight game. Dante Clark has it behind the 3-point line at the top of the key. Clark, stutter step drive against Tevin Broyles. Pass intended for Berger on the baseline, stolen by Eric Thomas, who's back in. Up ahead he goes. Layup missed by Nate Fry. Rebound tipped up, no good. UMass got the rebound, then they throw it away. Stolen by Thomas. Thomas then loses it. And it goes out of bounds. Wow. So it'll go back to UMass. 1 turnover there. He gets another. Real quick, so you gave a great speech a few years
ago. And Ellen and I, it's been pretty neat.
And we need a little bit of a run here from UMass. They get the ball off a turnover, coming across half court. Zach Coleman, a bank shot from the left of the paint, spins out, rebounded by Berger, though. Seth banks it in, and the run, and make it 20-12. So Berger scores.
This is an athletic team. I was really surprised. I mean, New Orleans is like they can beat you on the bounce, and they're athletic.
Coming in and playing kind of loose and fancy free.
Yeah, we face teams like this all the time. It's all, look, just playing and balling and doing crazy stuff.
New Orleans has possession here with Kristavius Gill, their leading scorer on the year. A driving left-handed bank is good. That's a tough shot. Gill gets his first points, 22-12. 10:40 left here in the first half. So we'll talk with Coach Cal here for the next few minutes about what this week has been like. C.J. Anderson gets double-teamed on the perimeter and throws it away. Stolen by Broyles up ahead. Oh, it's a Fry pass back, and the layup missed by Zeno. Everything but the finish, Michael Zeno. UMass the rebound, down 10. Clark, no-look pass. It's Coleman on the baseline. Catch, dunks it in, and he's fouled. Wow. And that was needed in the worst way. UMass back within 22-14. A free throw is coming up. So let me just ask you, I guess, to put into perspective 2 nights in a few words, what has this experience been like coming back here to Massachusetts?
Well, we consider this home. I mean, my daughter Erin graduated from here and went on to Wake Forest, and Megan spent 2 years here. Bradley wanted to come back up here to go to school. He's at McDuffie right now, doing well, and Ellen and I enjoyed here. I mean, this is where she and I grew up. When we were 29, and it was a great time. And biggest thing you find out is that it was about staff and team and all that stuff, but it was about everybody else that supported what we were doing and how they really supported the basketball program and how it caught fire.
Well, that was a big thing, Coach, and I was there last night that you talked about a lot, was the support system that was around here because you were so young at the time getting here.
Yeah, and you're learning how to coach, you're learning how to be, you're learning all the things you need to do, but more importantly, you find out you can't do it alone, that you got to have a whole, it does take a village, but more importantly, it takes a lot of people who are on the same page and want the same things. And everybody, we had good kids, and, they did well on the campus, they did well in school, and that's a foul, by the way. In the end of the day, it was all of us. And I said, I want thousands of people to feel like without them, it could have never happened. I just saw Ed and his wife and different people who had just been so good to me and us.
Let me recap what's happened after the Coleman dunk. Seth Berger scored after an offensive rebound, but then New Orleans got a bucket from Kevin Hill, put him back up 8. Now after a blocked shot, UMass inbounded. They get it to Trey Davis, and he scores. So Davis with 8. It's 24-18 with 9 minutes remaining in the first half. It's been up and down here on Jack Lehman Court. I wanted to ask you, it wasn't Jack Lehman Court when you were here. It is now. There's a jump shot. It's up and good for 2.
Who the heck is that kid?
Man, Kristavius Gill. That makes it 26-18. When you see the name Jack Lehman on this court here at the Mullins Center, that must make you pretty proud.
It does. When I brought up his name last night at the dinner, I have to tell you that there was a rousing response from everybody.
You're right.
And everybody knows what he meant to this program, that, he was here to really start this whole thing. And more importantly, for me personally, he was my mentor, my friend. Lori and Rita are here tonight. Every function that I've had, every honor that I've received, those two have been a part of. And I've been in touch. I've stayed in touch, and they know how I am with them. And he was unique. And you think about it, a guy that coached here, that was the builder of this program. There was no program before he started, yet he...
Timeout. That ends. Just an alert to our affiliates. We will be skipping the under 8 media timeout break. We'll make that up for you in the post-game show. New Orleans misses a layup coming out of the timeout.
Did I talk through another media...
You took the whole thing. It was great.
So, there you go. I'm used to doing that, by the way.
You're usually talking during a timeout anyway.
I am, and they tell me I filibuster, so I did that a little bit.
I had this. It's 26-20 New Orleans, and on that held ball, The Privateers get the arrow. 7:40 remaining in the first half. UMass and New Orleans have played one time before tonight in program history. I'm guessing you have pretty good memories.
It was in Alaska. Tim Floyd was coaching the team, and we won the Alaska shootout. So they have, up in Alaska, they have a UMass banner. We won the Rainbow
Very
Classic a couple years later.
Yep.
And we beat, I believe, Syracuse in the finals by 20. And but this was, we beat Tim Floyd, and they had a good team, by the way, New Orleans.
Privateers get it off of a foul, and the shot missed by Tevin Broyles, but he got it back. 26-20 UNO. Now 7:20 remaining in the half. How many? You won 193 games here. How many of those 193 do you think you remember like that?
Not. If you throw it at me, it'll pop in my mind a lot. But we had a lot of good teams.
It's a travel against UNO.
A lot of good players, and I had a great staff of people. So we played good schedules. I mean, that last year, '96, we had 27 games won away from this building. 27. That's ridiculous. I don't think that's ever been done before. But it's, the memories back in here are, I look at it and I just say, you know what? This is where it was started. This is where we learned. This is where we all came together. This is a lot of people benefited, and the way we tried to think, we never used an excuse. We didn't, we're at UMass, so what? We're trying to win just like everybody else. And, this school has become it's one of the top public institutions in the country. I go on the campus, I don't recognize it. You see the Commonwealth College, the whole setup next door. How about the Student Center? Nicest in the country. You have this. You have a practice facility. You have new dorms. You have
Champion Center.
The stuff with the science buildings and the research buildings and the new business school, the Eisenberg School. I mean, the nursing. I mean, you go on and on and on. We built one building when we were here.
Well, that's going to be amazing.
The Mullen Center. That was it.
That's going to be amazing to you that it was so new then, and then you come back in now, and this thing's still rocking.
And it looks good. It looks good.
Trey Davis got fouled. He made one of two, and it's 26-21 UNO. 6:40 left in the first half as we visit with the man of the night, Coach Calipari. Here's a driving wild shot by Gill, no good, and a rebound by UMass, Zach Coleman. Here's a push. 2-on-4. Trey Davis finds an open Clark for three. Left wing. Yes! Dante Clark, a triple. And UMass has cut a 10-point deficit down to 2. 26-24. Then they knock a pass away out of bounds on the other end. Well, now the Minutemen seem to be finding their offense a little bit. I know you talk to Derek a lot. Talk about the nature of your relationship these days with your pupil, Coach Keller.
Well, anytime we're talking, sometimes I'm asking him, what do you think about this? We're struggling with this, that, and the other, and we go back and forth with stuff. But, I'll ask him about games, different games that they've played.
Tough three is good by Chris Davies. Skills.
It's two coaches trying to figure this out.
Dante.
I'm not supposed to scream. I'm not supposed to scream on the radio. I hope there was no old people listening to this thing, because I just rocked their world with that scream. Listen, guys, I'm going to go watch this game because I'm kind of into it. But this has been special. I want to thank all those people out there that have supported us over the years, and do the same with Derek. And I say it again, administrations, and it takes more than a basketball coach. And we had that role in here, and Derek made a great statement. If you can do it once, why can't we do it again? Come together. Not just about a coach. It's about all of us coming together. Thanks, guys.
Thank you for coming. We'll see you at halftime. Coach Calipari joining us. That shot that went in for Dante Clark.
Indescribable.
I was going to ask Coach to try to do it. Tim, now you fall. The responsibility falls to you. It was a foul on UNO. The ball went through the hoop. Now they're talking about whether or not the shot should count. 29 to 22 before.
I think they're
29 to 24 before the shot went in.
And I'm not sure what the referee's talking to. Did they count the basket?
They've waved it off. That's why it's 29-24.
Yeah, and the reason was Dante Clark came streaking in from the left side like he usually does. He got the ball tipped away, and he came down off the bounce with his back to the basket and tipped the ball in with both hands, not even looking at the basket, up over his head. That was one of the most amazing made shots I've ever seen, but I think they're right with the call that when he got it off, it wasn't a legal shot. And he ends up missing his first free throw, but they're going to take away the bucket. But yeah, still a pretty great play for Dante Clark to make that thing go in. Dante's going to settle in here for his second free throw.
Well, he thought he would have a three-point play. He'll have to settle for one, and that makes it 29-25. 6 minutes remaining in the first half. UNO was led by as many as 10. And now a steal by Jabari Hines. Took it away from Nate Fry. Coast the other way. Banks it in. Jabari's first points of the night. Back to a 2-point deficit, 29-27.
That just took it right away from Fry that time.
That time, Nate Fry's going up for a shot, has the ball knocked out of his hands. It flies up 20 feet into the air and out of bounds off of UMass. 21 to shoot. Jabari, one of the Atlantic 10's leaders in steals, added one to it to snap an 0-for-3 start he'd had.
And I think Jabari taking it upon himself, seeing the ball go through the basket a little too easily here for the Privateers, and he's trying to dig in defensively.
Minutemen back within 2. Here comes Christavius Gill. Small guy, explosive scorer for the Privateers. Now they swing it to the left block, and here's Eric Thomas. Scored a couple early. Bullies his way inside, and a foul called on UMass. Jabari Hines shot no good there for Eric Thomas, but he'll get a couple of free throws. 5:20 remaining in the half.
Well, UMass right now playing with a smaller lineup. 4 guards, the 3 starting guards, Davis, Clark, and Hines, along with C.J. Anderson. Zach Coleman, essentially the pivot man in this lineup, so very small for UMass. And just to kind of recap the half, UMass has turned it over 8 times in the game. They forced 9 turnovers, but having a tough time handling the ball against a very active UNO team as the free throw goes down for Thomas. So I think Derek Kellogg wants to get his team settled down. An extra ball handler in the game, and I think on the defensive end, an extra guy to scramble a little bit defensively, because UNO's getting them spread out right now and making some shots.
Thomas makes both. So Eric Thomas, who made his first career start with UNO tonight, the JUCO transfer, makes it 31-27. UMass gets it up ahead quickly to Trey Davis for 3. Right wing, it's good. Davis has had a great half. He's now got 12. He's in double figures, and it's 31-30 Privateers. Man, this thing's gone back and forth. New Orleans gets it quickly into the post. Back up big man Michael Zeno. Drives, cut off by Coleman. Pass to the corner. 3-pointer from the left. No good by Cameron Reed. Offensive rebound, Thomas. And Eric Thomas banks it back up and in. It's 33-30 Privateers.
I think now that both teams are settled in, we're going to start seeing a lot of offense quickly here.
C.J. Anderson to Clark. 3-point shot left wing. A little bit short for Dante. A rebound by Michael Zeno for the Privateers. They lead by 3. Bringing it back down the court, Christavius Gill. Cameron Reed had it in the corner. Now reserve guard Coleman Edwards, top of the key. Trey Davis is on him. Edwards picks up the bounce, goes into the post again. Eric Thomas, double team, shoots wildly, no good. Offensive rebound put up, no good by Zeno. He was falling down, and UMass the rebound. Down 3, pass to the corner, Davis. Jabari Hines, 3, no good from the left. Rebound Trey, though. Pump fakes in the lane, gets his man to bite, fouled going up. And he'll get 2 shots. Trey Davis, a rare offensive rebound after Jabari missed a 3. I'm telling you, Tim, the pace of play, it's just whiplash.
Tough to catch up, especially when you have a couple of good guests on that you want to talk to. Coach Cal and Marcus Camby, and Trey Davis having a heck of a first half. Nice to see him bounce back. He's 5 for 8 shooting the ball. He gets that free throw to go for his 13th point. And earlier in the play, tried to get an assist on a driving kick, a corner 3 wide open by Jabari Hines. You're right, it came off at a funny angle right back to Trey, about free throw line extended, and drove it in with the left hand and got hammered.
Trey is 5 of 8 from the floor. Now makes both, so he is 3 of 5 at the line. 14 points in the first half. 33-32 New Orleans. In the pass tip, Jabari Hines gets a steal, and Jabari breaks the other way, looking for the lead. He's fouled before a shot, but it's been long since double bonus time for the Minutemen. So 2 free throws for Jabari when we come back from the under 4. It's 33-32. Good stuff. Jabari Hines, couple of free throws coming out of the timeout. First is good, and that ties this game at 33.
When you're a good team like that, you are in demand for preseason tournaments, in-season tournaments, neutral court games, and TV games. So they played all over the place that year.
As Coach Cal said, anywhere, anytime. anybody. I'm paraphrasing. Both free throws good for Jabari. UMass has the lead for the first time since it was 2-0. It's 34-33. They've trailed by as many as 10. New Orleans in possession now. UNO in the white. Pass underneath. Got the backup big man Zeno finding a cutting Nate Fry for the layup, and it's good. 35-34. New Orleans a 3-5 team coming in. UMass 5-4. Here's Jabari Hines. Hines out near midcourt. Pestered that time by Fry. Drives around him. Pass to Clark. Now to Davis. Right wing three. Got another one. Trey Davis on fire. 17 first half points. UMass 37-35.
1.5 by Trey Davis.
Man, keeping UMass almost single-handedly in it. Almost half their points. Drive inside on the other end by Cameron Reed. Gets to the rim, and a right-handed scoop is good by Reed. How about that guy off the bench with 10 points?
Yeah, burying jumpers early that time, putting it on the floor, getting to the rack. A big-time move for him. You know, UMass is scoring the ball now. They just can't string together stops down the other end.
And we've got a travel against Dante Clark. Wally Rutecki makes the call with 2:45 remaining in the half. I mentioned we'd be visiting with Tony Barbee. I think we're going to try to do that later on, but everybody's getting ready for the halftime ceremony. Coach Barbee is on staff at Kentucky with Coach Cal, and also members of the UMass coaching staff from the 90s here. John Robick, he's at Kentucky now. It's great to see Billy Bano here this week, taking the year off after coaching in the NBA for many years. 2:35 left in the half. 37-37 is the score. New Orleans, Kevin Hill against Tyler Bergantino, who's back in for Coach Kellogg. Now the hand back goes to Nate Fry. Moves to his left for the wing, and now into the foul line. Fry, shot blocked by Hines. Jabari, but a rebound offensive by Kevin Hill. Shot clock didn't reset. Deep three by Gill with one on the shot clock. No good from 26 feet on the left wing. And a rebound, UMass. Dante Clark gallops across midcourt. A foul called. A block against Nate Fry. 2 shots. Dante looking to give UMass the lead back with 2:10 remaining. Well, Tim, where do you start when you're trying to break down what's happened in this game?
We haven't had a game with this pace in a while. We mentioned UMass finally settled in after the slow shooting start, mostly because of Trey Davis and his 17 points already in the half. And you know, that's the one fear when you play a team that you're, quote, supposed to beat. You know, UMass probably a heavy favorite over New Orleans, but you know, they come in playing and they have nothing to lose. They want to play at a fast pace. We mentioned their coach mentioned in some pregame comments that he wanted to get their offense going, so I think that's why the pace has been up and down. He's trying to get them to run as Dante Clark gets his first free throw to go. UMass takes the lead, 38-37. But it's going to be one of those halves where the coaching staff's got to huddle for a minute and kind of see what hit him in the first half. It's been such a fast pace, you barely have time to make any adjustments other than those timeouts. And luckily for UMass, they battle back here. He gets both free throws to go, does Clark, and they have a 2-point lead.
Dante, 2 of 4 from the floor, 3 of 4 from the line for 8 points. Trey Davis, 17 to lead the way. Seth Berger has 6. It's 39-37 UMass, and Jabari picks up a hand check foul against Nate Fry on the other end, 30 feet away. 7 fouls against UMass in the half, so that's going to be a 1-and-1 coming up for Fry with 2:01 to go. For New Orleans, 10 points from Cameron Reed leads them off to the bench. Michael Zeno has 8. He's also off the bench. Eric Thomas, who made his first career start for the Privateers tonight, has 8. Gustavius Gill has only 5.
Quiet half for him. He's averaging over 14 coming in, but some of the reserves have come in a big way. They put the ball in the hoop here with 37 points, 2 minutes to go in the half.
They are shooting 52% from the floor. Privateers are. 1-and-1. Front end for Fry is good. 39-38 UMass. Minutemen now shooting 52% after they'd made just one of their first 7. Third game in a row, a really slow shooting start for Coach Kellogg's team. Here's the second shot for Fry. That is good. He hit them both. He's 1 of 5 from the field, but now 4 points. 39-39. It's been a wild half. C.J. Anderson brings it across the midcourt stripe for the black-clad Minutemen in the throwback 96 style uniforms with the cursive U in the word UMass in white across the front of the chest. 1:40 left in the half as Dante Clark dribbles at the top of the key, steps into a deep two, got it! Cameron Reed was playing back off him, and Clark calmly sinks the jumper. He's in double figures, and it's 41-39 UMass.
And Reed can't keep up with the quickness that Clark had to give him that extra step. He felt the lack of cushion there and just stepped up and buried it.
1:20 to go. Right corner. Here's a three-point shot for Reed. Right side, no good. He missed one with Clark flying at him. UMass the rebound. C.J. Anderson gallops across, goes all the way, banks it up off the glass. It's no good. It was wide open. C.J. takes the rebound away from Kevin Hill. Anderson kicks it out to an open Trey Davis for three. No good right side. And a rebound by Eric Thomas for New Orleans. Boy, Trey finally missed one. He was wide open. 41-39 is the lead for UMass. 50 seconds remaining in the half. And now New Orleans backs it out. They've got it right now with the point guard. Nate Fry around the screen at the top of the key set by Hill. Pass Fry into the post Thomas. Kick to the right corner, Reed. Cameron Reed misses another three. Rebound UMass. 35 seconds left in the half. Up two. Dante Clark backs it out. There's about a 5-second differential between the shot and the game clocks. So UMass is going to hold it. Trey Davis dribbling between his legs out by the midcourt stripe. Nate Fry is on him. And you're dribbling the ball in college hoops these days. There's no 5 count. Davis now starts his drive, and he's called for extending the arm. And an offensive foul on Trey with 16 seconds left.
UMass now in double figures in turnovers with 10 turnovers in the half. They forced 11 turnovers on New Orleans, and the few blemishes of the first half for Trey Davis, the push off there.
We'll see if New Orleans can tie this thing up or perhaps get the lead going into halftime. You'd have to say a decided underdog the Privateers were coming in. Don't forget, coming up, we've got the John Calipari banner recognition ceremony coming live for you at halftime. Tim will also catch up with Coach Kellogg in a few moments. 41-39 UMass. Final possession time for the Privateers as they come across with Nate Fry at the top of the key, guarded by Anderson. 5 left as Fry drives on CJ. Anderson blocked his shot into the corner, throws out, and that's going to have time expire before Gill can get off a 3-point shot. Anderson the block. Wild save, threw it behind his back dangerously. But the clock expired, and Christavius Gill was going to miss the shot anyway. So it is 41-39, the lead for UMass. A half they trailed by as many as 10 points. You'll hear him, and Coleman lobs it for Clark immediately. Catches, goes down, collects himself, and then banks it in. Good start. High-low there. And it's Dante Clark sneaking in for the layup that makes it 43-39.
Yeah, good screen. Dante gave it up and then got a screen going right to the bucket. Pass was a little low, but he hung on to it. Could have been an alley-oop, but he ended up laying it in.
Eric Thomas driving through the paint at Holloway, missed the wild bank shot. Offensive rebound, Michael Zeno. Zeno then lost it out of bounds, but it was knocked out by Holloway. For New Orleans head coach Mark Schlesinger, they changed the starting lineup from that began the game because Zeno, who was very good off the bench in half number 1, is out there on the front line. Traven Thibodeau started tonight, and he only played about a minute before he got a couple of fouls, and we haven't seen Thibodeau since.
And UMass only had Rashawn Holloway on the floor for 2 minutes. He got 2 quick fouls. We'll see if he can make a difference here with his size to start the half.
Shot clock never reset. It's at 5 as Christavius Gill dribbles near the top of the key, steps back on Davis. 3-point shot, no good. Rebound fought for. Little guy Fry got it over Holloway, and he feeds Thomas for a layup that's good. Boy, Nate Fry is 6'1". Holloway,
give right by him.
Yeah, so many more inches. Fry got it though, and it's 43-41 UMass. 1 minute into the second half. UMass moving left to right as we look at it. Zach Coleman on the perimeter. Lob underneath. Holloway the catch. Good position. Right-handed. Soft shot off the back of the rim and drops in. A good touch. Holloway scores, and it's 45-41.
Yeah, good quick seal right on the left block. Good pass up over the top from the left wing, and bounced around the rim a little bit before going in.
Deep 2-point jumper on the other end by Eric Thomas. No good. An 18-foot miss. Rebounded by Zach Coleman for UMass. Up by 4. Looking for their largest lead of the night. Hines kick to the left corner. Clark raises up. 3-pointer splashes in. Dante Clark. And that makes it 47-41 UMass. Off the long miss by Thomas. It led to a run out. Jabari Hines finding Clark, who's got 15. It's his second 3-point make of the night. And a beautiful jump shot. 18-15 remaining. Back come the Privateers. Here's Michael Zeno. Pass knocked out of bounds by Dante Clark on the sideline as Dante went for the steal. UMass Tim is now shooting 55% tonight. 18 of 33 on field goals. That was the 4th three-pointer they've made.
And that's after a pretty tough start too. They came out in the first half and really struggled to shoot it early, and they've really been pouring it on since.
Here's a pass underneath, and Gill missed an easy one. Kristavius Gill snuck in, missed it. Dante Clark grabs the rebound up 6. Long outlet to Davis. Catch and shoot. Left wing 3, no good, but a rebound. Holloway. Rashawn Banks in another one. And make it an early 7-0 run here in the half. UMass leads by 9. UNO has to call a timeout. They bring it across midcourt. 17:50 remaining. It's 50-41. We'll take the timeout with the teams. Well, you mentioned it. Holloway had 2 early fouls, Tim. Now that he's back on the court, he's made a big difference. Yeah, the guards got it going early, and Holloway, a big bucket there, gives him another dimension. That time just running right to the block, getting great position on the weak side. And into the post they go. Here's Traven Thibodeau, who's back in for the first time since early on, trying to match the size of Holloway. Is Thibodeau, the Privateers' biggest player. Now they've got Kristavius Gill, their leading scorer on the year, who's been quiet. Gill on the kick out from Thomas, a 3-point shot right wing, no good. Rebound tip, grabbed by UMass, Jabari Hines. Here come the Minutemen with 17:20 to go in the half. Hines right across midcourt, keeps going to the rim, had the shot blocked out of bounds. Got met there by Thibodeau, and Jabari hit the deck. Stays with UMass. A little out of control by Jabari Hines. Did a nice job tracking down that that defensive rebound. There's a bit of a scramble for the ball. He went up high and got it. Tried to be a one-man fast break. Luckily, UMass will hang on to it here. Minutemen on a 7-0 run to take their largest lead of the night. Clark will trigger baseline underneath, 23 to shoot as he tries to lob it in. This foul called against UNO. I think it was Thibodeau just grabbing onto Rashawn Holloway. That's what it was. So he's got 3 fouls, Thibodeau. He's only played about 2 minutes. And Thibodeau had Coleman and Holloway both kind of diving towards the... And actually, they got Thomas, beg your pardon. Eric Thomas. His second. UMass inbounds again. Lob into the middle for Zach Coleman. Had it knocked away by Fry, but he got it back. And now pass over to Hines. He cuts in and banks it in. From Coleman, Hines makes it 52-41. 11-point lead, and then Kristavius Gill misses a 3. Rebound Holloway. UMass has it up ahead to Jabari Hines. Had it stripped away right back into his hands. He misses the layup, though, and it's going to be grabbed by UNO's Eric Thomas. Oh, Jabari had a wide open layup after he almost had it stolen from him. UMass has a double-digit lead, though, at 11, 52-41. 16:45 left. The pace of play has been frenetic. Eric Thomas posting up on the other end. One-on-one with Coleman, a fadeaway off the glass, no good. Offensive rebound, Thibodeau, though, back to Thomas. Thomas had it blocked by Holloway, but right back into Thomas's hands. Shot clock at 5, they kick it out to Reed. And Cameron Reed hits a 3. And it's 52-44 with 16:20 left. No hesitation, and Cameron Reed just letting it fly. 13 big points for him off the bench today. That snaps a 9-0 UMass run. 3-pointer Trey Davis, top of the key. That one a little bit short, trying to answer from 24. And a rebound by Eric Thomas for the Privateers. Coming back down by 8. Into the post they go. Thibodeau had the position. Catch and Traven Thibodeau banks it in. That'll make it 52-46. Now 5 quick points for the Privateers. UMass has had problems, Tim, these last few games of trying to sustain momentum. Jabari Hines kick to the right corner. Trey Davis goes inside the arc and lobs it up for Holloway on the baseline. He caught it, goes up, banks it in. Holloway from Davis. It's 54-46. UMass by 8 with 15:35 left. And that time Trey just able to kind of throw it to a space where he knew Holloway could get it. He went up, grabbed it, right up to the rim quickly. Underneath, a short miss by Cameron Reed. Rebound UMass up by 8. Racing back the other way is Hines. All the way, had it blocked by Thibodeau at the rim. Thibodeau kept it inbounds, and it's rebounded by Nate Fry. Here come the Privateers. Fry gallops to the foul line. Leaves it off for Thomas. Underneath, he's fouled. Shot banks and misses. But Eric Thomas will get 2 free throws when we come back. This has been a game in which if the shot clock goes under 20 of the 30 seconds, you're like, what? Yeah. So it's resulting in a high-scoring game, and luckily UMass is up 8 right now, kind of taking 2 at halftime. Went up 11 a moment ago, now trying to cut it back to 6 is Thomas. He missed the second. Rebound tip grabbed by Seth Berger of UMass. It's 54-47 Minutemen. 15 minutes to go. C.J. Anderson and Berger in off the bench to join the starters Clark, Davis, and Coleman. Clark to the top. Seth Berger drives through the foul line. Now keeps going towards the rim. Shot up from 5 feet. Hit the back of the iron. Rebound foul against UMass. Going to be Zach Coleman trying to take it away from Traven Thibodeau. Zach get his second foul of the night with 14:55 left. UNO has it trailing by 7. I was mentioning this, Tim. The 2 games that UMass lost in Florida, they made big second half runs early, and each of them got the lead, and then they just couldn't sustain that. And you're hoping, if you're Coach Kellogg, they've learned from those.
You're right, and those were like almost carbon copies of each other. And in about 3 minutes is when the run for the other team started. We'll see if they can change that pattern.
UMass 54, New Orleans 47. Seth Berger tips a pass into the backcourt, but point guard Nate Fry goes back to get it. Shot clock at 10. Fry up ahead. Reserve forward Kevin Hill. And he scores. Wow. So with the shot clock winding down, Hill makes it 54-49 with 14:25 to go. Glad you're with us across the UMass Sports Radio Network and the Atlantic 10 Digital Network. Josh Maurer and Tim Collins on Jack Lehman Court at the Mullins Center. Berger left wing with 14:10 left. Fires to the top for Trey Davis, leading by 5. We had the John Calipari banner recognition ceremony at halftime. Hope you enjoyed that. Here's Berger, slicing to the middle. 3 to shoot. A fadeaway shot for Seth. Too strong. Rebound out of bounds. Last touched by C.J. Anderson of the Minutemen. He goes back to the Privateers. Under 14 minutes.
UMass with a little different personnel in the game right now. Hines, Holloway, and Coleman, who started the half on the bench, and Bergantino, Berger, and C.J. Anderson now, and they're trying to find some adjustments to make. New Orleans switched to a 2-3 zone, so UMass has had trouble scoring the last couple.
Into the post, Traven Thibodeau gets it in the paint against Bergantino. A jump hook is short. Tyler had his hands up. Rebound UMass. Trey Davis races the other way, all the way to the rim. Right-handed, banks it up, in, count it, and a foul. How quickly did he do that? Tim, it was what, 2, if that, seconds from the time Trey grabbed the rebound to the time he was banking it in as he was being fouled by Hill. And it's 56-49 UMass.
Yeah, and he passed about 3 or 4 defenders that on his trip down the court, and much to the chagrin of Mark Schlesinger, the UNO coach, nobody stopped the ball, and Trey with a pretty one-man fast break. He gets the free throw to go for a 3-point play, and he's now got 20 in the game.
So it's 57-49. Lead back to 8. First points of the half for Trey. Into the post. Hill posting up Berger. Jump hook shot. Good from 5 feet. Left block. Second straight UNO hoop from Hill. And that makes it 57-51. 13:15 left. Berger has it on the right wing. Fires to the right corner. Trey Davis. Screen set by Bergantino. Davis throws it across the court to C.J. Anderson, who's been quiet tonight. Spins into the middle. 8-foot shot. No good. And then a foul on Bergantino. A loose ball push off. Gives it back to New Orleans with 13 minutes left.
All of a sudden, UMass, other than Trey Davis on that fast break, they've had trouble finishing around the basket. Berger's missed a couple little floaters. C.J. Anderson had a great look that time on the spin dribble. He spun off his left shoulder, had a good look right in the middle of the lane. A little bit of a frustration foul maybe on Tyler Bergantino. He's going to go to the bench. Jabari Hines into the game. Rashawn Holloway back in the game after he got a much-needed breather. We'll see if Rashawn can continue his good play here. Scored 6 points early in the second half.
UMass leading by 6. New Orleans has the ball. They brought back in Michael Zeno. Big man on the front line with Kevin Hill. And here is a drive to the right block. Count the basket. It's good for Tevin Broyles. And a foul, and it makes it a 4-point game with a free throw coming up. Broyles taking it right at Jabari Hines, who gets his 3rd foul. A little size mismatch as Broyles is a bigger guard.
He's a guy that the New Orleans staff has said has been really coming on offensively lately. He's one of the bigger guards on their roster, as you mentioned, 6'5", and that's on a heck of a finish, taking the hit.
Free throw is good, too, for Tevin Broyles. It's only his 2nd field goal of the game. He's got 5. Lo and behold, it's 57-54. UMass's 11-point lead down to 3. Three-pointer Dante Clark left wing. No good on a cross-court feed from Trey Davis. Offensive rebound. Holloway, though, fights it back up, gets fouled. Never got the ball to the rim, but it's a shooting foul against UNO. And that's 2 shots for Rashawn. Foul is on Coleman Edwards, a guard trying to battle with the big boy.
Yep. And he had already cleared out too much space, as we're getting used to seeing him do. doing some work here on the offensive glass. If he can make a couple, he could be in double figures.
First free throw for Rashawn is no good, and this is where he struggled. Now tonight, Holloway is 0 for 2 at the line. That makes him on the season just 11 of 27. It's about 40%.
And hasn't quite found a rhythm yet. And we've seen him make a couple jumpers in the flow of game action that have looked good. Made a couple 15-footers, 13-footers, but hasn't quite found that free throw stroke here early in his career.
13-5 stretch here for New Orleans. Trying to end that. Holloway, second shot, spins around. It's no good. Rebound, though, lost out of bounds by New Orleans. Two guys fighting each other. Looked like Hill
and Zeno.
Yep, and Michael Zeno. So it's back to UMass with a fresh shot clock, leading 57-54, 12:32 to go. C.J. Anderson to trigger it in, and we got a foul against New Orleans with going to be Fry grabbing onto a cutter away from the ball. That's non-shooting. UMass another fresh 30-second shot clock. C.J. Anderson triggers into Trey Davis, right wing. Trey spin move, and he's called for carrying the ball. Nate Fry was guarding Trey and turned it over.
I'll give the New Orleans bench the assist on that call. They were all screaming that Trey was carrying the ball, and then the referee with a quick whistle after that. UMass got to find a way to hang on to this lead. Privateers coming now down with a chance to tie this game after taking an early hit in the half from UMass.
The team that was a decided underdog coming in. On the perimeter, their big man Kevin Hill has a couple of baskets of late. He gives it off. Christavius Gill, and out to Tevin Broyles again. Spins around Clark to the rim, and he missed the layup. Oh, a miss by Broyles. Rebound to UMass. Back the other way, 2-on-1. Davis threw an alley-oop to Berger that got knocked away right into the waiting arms of Rashawn Holloway. And he banks it in again. Holloway with his fourth hoop of the half. And it's 59-54 Minutemen, under 12. Right back the other way, here comes Nate Fry. Harassed by Trey Davis, bounce into the post for Hill. Catches from 5 feet, left-handed hook, good again. Kevin Hill, 59-56 UMass, 11:40 remaining. Trey Davis brings it across midcourt. So the big men having success. Holloway, I mentioned, 4 of his 5 field goals this half. Kevin Hill's now 4 for 4. Trey Davis to the middle, inside the foul line. Oh, a jumper is good from 11 feet, fading away. That makes it 61-56. Trey Davis now with 22, 11:15 remaining.
That might have been the toughest one of the game. Took a hit, could have been an and one on the play. Finished right in the lane.
Driving the other way, Broyles. Wild layup, no good. Rebound, Hill puts it in again on the other side of the rim. It was almost like Broyles' kind of air ball was a pass to Kevin Hill. It's 61-58 with 11 minutes to go. We had stretches like this in the first half, too, where there were a minute or two without a whistle, each team scoring just about every possession. Trey Davis on the perimeter, left wing, fires into the lane for Seth Berger. One more touch pass out to the right wing, Anderson. Now back Davis, top of the key. Trey draws a double, throws left corner, Clark. Catch and shoot for 3, and it's good for Dante Clark. These teams cannot miss. Dante Clark's third triple at 64-58 with 10.5 to go. Good pass by Davis, too. Driving in the other way. Into the lane is Fry. Throws it into the middle. A tough pass for Hill. Got knocked away, but right into the waiting arms of Michael Zeno. Zeno gets harassed. Double team stolen away from him by Anderson. CJ up. Trey Davis down the court, lays it in. Davis after the steal by Anderson at 66-58 UMass with 10 minutes to go.
And had great activity that time by C.J. Anderson. He was off the ball and he was digging down, almost like a linebacker on the ball. Finally came up with it. Pretty look-ahead pass up to Trey.
Driving the other way, Hill cut off by Holloway on the left block. About 2.5, 3 minutes without a whistle. Gill kicks it out for Fry. Open look at a 3, left wing, no good. Nate Fry. Rebound offensive. Christavius Gill goes up, takes the jumper, and makes it. About a 13-footer for Gill, and that makes it 66-60 UMass. And we just played so much time without a whistle that after the ball went in, Mark Schlesinger, the coach of the Privateers, calls a timeout. Now they're going to say it's a 30-second timeout, but we haven't had the media under 12 yet, so that means that this should become that media, and it will. Wing. We can't do promos, Tim, in this game because you missed about 3 plays. Gill with the last 5, and now it's 66-63.
Well, UMass ran a great play out of the timeout to get Dante Clark a backdoor lob. The pass just wasn't there, and New Orleans counters quickly with the Gill three.
And now we got to travel on Trey Davis on the other end as he got to the foul line, picked up the bounce and dragged that pivot foot. So UMass had gone up 8. Dante Clark 3, Trey Davis bucket, and then all of a sudden, Gill off an offensive rebound hit a jumper that forced the timeout to be called. And then Gill, after a turnover, hits another 3. So Christavius Gill, coming off a career-high game against Williams Baptist over the weekend, 28. He's heating up. Down 3. Here they go inside. Oh, tough move by Tevin Broyles. Had it blocked at the rim. UMass the rebound, but then they traveled at midcourt. Dante Clark catching the pass. And the call made by Rob Riley of a turnover. 8:54 left. 66-63 Minutemen.
Yeah, and indecisiveness that time by Trey Davis was pushing it up. Had Dante Clark on the left wing, Hines on the right wing. Could have just hit Hines up ahead, but he kind of hesitated, tried to throw it back to Clark, and second straight turnover for Trey.
By the way, now Christavius Gill has 10 points. There are 4 privateers in double figures. Got a foul away from the ball on Seth Berger in the post, bodying up against Eric Thomas. Non-shooting, that's the 5th against the Minutemen and a half. 8:42 left. A three-pointer could tie this game. New Orleans led by 10 in the first half. UMass led by 11 this half. Inbounds play goes to the point guard Fry. Nate Fry to the foul line. Kicks it out. Big man Hill, a long two-pointer, no good. About a 17-footer. For Kevin Hill. It's his first miss all night. UMass the rebound and foul as Clark started his drive, got to the top of the key and was hit. So it's 8:30 to go, each team with 5 fouls now in the half. That was Broyles' third.
See if UMass can settle in here. They've certainly lost the momentum in the game, still hold the lead though.
UMass inbounds fresh 30. Jabari Hines in the backcourt right now with Clark and Davis, the starters. Holloway and Berger up front. Berger, the only reserve on the court. 20 on the shot clock, top of the key. Berger over to the left wing. Behind the line is Hines. Hines steps inside the arc, two-point jumper. Hits the back of the rim from 16. Rebounded by Kevin Hill. So back comes UNO. Trailing 66-63. 8 minutes remaining. And now here's Gill, Christavius Gill, who's catching fire, drives inside, a tough floater is good. Holloway was coming to try to block it. Gill put it up over his arms. He's got 7 straight, and it's 66-65 UMass. It's a 7:45 mark. Gill, who had been quiet before this stretch, shooting them right back into the game. Jabari Hines, top of the key, lobs it underneath for Holloway, who had post position, but they say it was an offensive foul on Rashawn to create that position on the block, and a turnover on Holloway.
A little extracurricular from Hill after the play, kind of wrapped up Holloway. After it, I thought he got good position, just kind of buried him in the middle of the lane, but I guess he was jockeying too hard for that one. And sometimes the big man gets some fouls called from just for being a big guy, and that time he got caught.
So we've got the under 8 media timeout. They get it to Fry. He drives to the right of the paint, banks it in for the lead. Wow. And for Nate Fry, only his second field goal all night. It's 67-66 Privateers.
We'll see if losing that lead gets UMass's attention here. You got to start playing a little better.
9-0 run. Here's Jabari Hines. Again, UMass has given up a second half lead 3 games in a row after they'd made a big early run in the half. Dante Clark to the foul line, leans in. They call a foul on New Orleans. And I don't think that Christavius Gill is going to be able to believe that. Looked like Clark initiated the contact.
Yeah, he kind of leaned in, and if they didn't call a foul, would have gotten called for a travel. He was going to go to the floor. Did go to the floor that time, lost his balance. Trey Davis going to come back in after a quick rest.
Bergantino out. UMass goes smaller here. Berger and Coleman the bigs. Here's the lob in, Clark to Davis. Trey leading the way tonight with 24. And here's a lean in by Davis. But before he got the shot off, he got fouled, and that's 7 in the half against UNO. So a 1-and-1 with 6:47 left. And that's the 4th against Gill.
Yeah, that could be a big factor.
Yeah, he just got 2 fouls on that possession.
Yep, 2 quick fouls on Clark and Davis, both really driving back at him. He's going to be forced to go to the bench. And that's a big loss for the Privateers, the way he was heating up here in the second half, shooting the ball.
1-and-1 for Trey, who's missed a couple of free throws tonight. Here, the front end is good. He's 5 of 7. He missed the front end back in the first half. Point number 25 for Manon Davis, who the last 3 games was shooting only 26% from the field. Makes them both. UMass back in front, 68-67. A 26-point game for the senior. What a bounce back from the rough stretch from Ole Miss through FGCU. Now they've got Coleman Edwards in there. He came in to replace Christavius Gill for Coach Schlesinger. Cameron Reed, the reserve guard, is guarded by Clark at the top of the key. Dante forced Reed to pass. Over to the point guard, Fry, top of the key, enters into the post. Banging in is Thibodeau under the rim, and Traven Thibodeau banks it in. He took Coleman to the basket. 69-68 Privateers with 6:15 left. Thibodeau, who started tonight, hadn't done much. Now a foul on the other end as they pressure Trey Davis with Fry. He's falling to the ground as Trey, and they say because of a push by Nate Fry. So another 1-and-1 coming up for Trey with 6:10 on the clock.
We've seen these types of games from Trey Davis before, where he does a lot of his damage from the free throw line because he's such an efficient shooter. He's going to shoot number free throw 9 and 10 here. He's already 6 of 8. And when the game is called this way and teams are aggressive, he's pretty good at taking them off the dribble, drawing contact.
Front end is good. Yep. Ties the score at 69. So there is point number 27 for Trey Davis. His career high is 28 against Siena last year. This would tie that. Second shot is good. So he ties a career high. Davis, UMass leading as we ride the seesaw. 70-69, 6:05 remaining. That's been a fun game. Not quite the decisive UMass result that many people expected coming in. UNO has played very hard. Coleman Edwards, reserve guard, is guarded by Trey Davis at the top of the key. A lot of dribbling by Edwards. Throws to the left baseline now, Traven Thibodeau. Back up top, 30 feet away is Cameron Reed. Steps inside the arc, gets drilled on a two-point jumper by Dante Clark. Knocked to the ground. You hear the whistle blow. That'll put Cameron Reed at the line for 2. Shot clock was winding down too. That's a bit of a bailout foul there by Clark.
And that time Dante tried to raise up. He kind of got beat. Cameron Reed, a type of kid, he's very shifty. He's always kind of looking for a shot. He's very aggressive offensively. That time Dante tried to scramble back into the play, just caught him on the elbow, trying to shoot it from about 17.
First free throw is good for Reed, who averages 5.5 points on the season. He's been huge tonight. That's his 14th point off the bench for the Privateers. He's hit 5 of 10 field goals. Second shot for the lead is good. 71-70. UNO, 5 minutes, 40 seconds left. UMass is led by as many as 11 points this half. Jabari Hines on the right wing is behind the three-point line. So Hines, Davis, and Clark, the starting backcourt. Here's Trey at the top of the key, looking for his 30th point. Drives to the foul line, the floater up and short from 8 feet. The rebound by the Privateers. Eric Thomas, 5:20 to go. What do you think of the shot?
I think that's the guy you want taking it right now, the way Trey's scoring the ball, but that was a tough one.
Eric Thomas posts Seth Berger, spins to the baseline, gets the position, banks it in. Berger fouls Thomas. The shot counts. It's 73-70, and he'll get a free throw. A quick move by the JUCO transfer, Eric Thomas.
And I'll give this to New Orleans. They just keep coming at you. They are very, very aggressive on the offensive end. As soon as anybody catches the ball in that post, they are making a decisive, hard move to the hoop, and UMass is having a tough time containing them down there and off the dribble. Playing with a lot of confidence, this young team.
Now the free throw to make it a 4-point lead is good for Thomas. His first start tonight. Thomas has now netted 15 points.
New Orleans going to come out in a 2-2-1 press, try to keep the pressure on UMass.
14 points for Thomas, though. Dante Clark gets the baseline on the other end, driving inside, banks it in from the left to the paint. 74-72 UNO. 4:50 remaining. Dante Clark gets to 20 points. Third time this year he's crossed 20. Pass to Eric Thomas, knocked away on the other end by Coleman. Stolen, back comes Trey Davis, down the court, floats it up. It curls in, his 30th point. Off the steal, Davis in transition ties this game at 74 with 4.5 minutes to go.
Oh, what a pretty bucket to get your new career high on that time. A scoop of traffic. What a finish by Trey.
UMass coming back now. The crowd getting into it at Mullins. Stepping back is Coleman Edwards to the right wing behind the three-point line and into the post for Thomas. Kicks it back out for Coleman. A three. Good by Coleman Edwards. And a timeout immediately called by UNO. Coleman Edwards on the kick out that time from Eric Thomas. 77-74 Privateers. And this will become the media timeout.
That's team confidence right there. A kid that had only taken one shot in the game steps in and buries one. And what a big shot for Coleman Edwards.
4:07 remaining. So we're back to wrap it up. Regulation at least here from
flat on the release. And now UMass, the defense, starting to feel the pressure here. They got to get a stop. Can't let it get to 2 possessions.
3:40 remaining. 77-74 Privateers. Jabari Hines 0 for 3 from three-point range tonight. Last 4 games, that makes him 2 for 17 from beyond the arc. Oh, nice pass cutting through Fry. Had it blocked by Trey Davis in the lane as Thibodeau found Nate Fry and Trey blocked it. UMass gets the rebound, trailing by 3. Up ahead to Clark, and he's going to be fouled as he hopped to his left, got into the paint. That should be a 1-and-1. I don't think he was going up for a shot. Yep, 1-and-1 time. That's the 9th foul against the Privateers in the half. They got Traven Thibodeau.
Yeah, what a time for Trey Davis. Obviously not a known for blocking shots. He's blocked a couple in this game. He's also got 4 steals. And you're right, he recovered quickly because that was a heck of a pass on the cut from the foul line. Looked like Fry was going to get a wide open layup. Trey, a great job recovering that time.
1-and-1, and the front end is good for Dante Clark. He's got 21. 77-75 UNO. Clark, 3rd 20-point game of the year. The others, Clemson and Ole Miss. Second shot could make it a 1-point deficit. 3:17 on the clock. Dante now 4 out of 5 tonight at the line. It's eerily quiet as he shoots. Got the bounce off the front rim and in. 77-76.
Really important series there for UMass to get that stop and get 2 on the board.
So UNO brings it across midcourt. Prestavius Gill is back in with 4 fouls for Coach Schlesinger. 3 guards. Third is Cameron Reed with Fry, and Reed takes it through the middle. Kick to the baseline. Jumper Thibodeau, air ball from 12 feet. And a rebound by Zach Coleman for the Minutemen. 3 minutes left, a chance to get the lead. Dante Clark accelerates. Left baseline, wild shot, no good, and then it's off of Rashawn Holloway and out of bounds. Both Clark and Holloway end up on the ground. And Dante just threw up a wild, wild shot.
Man, you got to get a better one than that. Dante Clark, that's just decision making. You can't just drive it into the heart of the defense and expect to get a good shot. I know you're trying to make a play, but you got to move the ball around a bit. You had a chance to take the lead there.
77-76 New Orleans, 2:40 remaining as Fry walks across the midcourt stripe. Jabari Hines stuck his hand in. Fry kept possession and kicks it to the right wing for Cameron Reed. He's hit 3 threes tonight. Reed passed to the middle, caught by Thomas. They're going to call a foul. It's going to be a 1-and-1. It was before Eric Thomas went up. 9th team foul in the half against UMass is called on Jabari Hines, his 4th.
That time Reed got the screen and kind of dragged out the defense, spread him out, dropped a little one-hand bounce pass to the hoop, and Jabari had to grab him.
2:32 remaining. Eric Thomas, 14 points, 12 rebounds. Junior college transfer made his first ever start for UNO tonight. 64% free throw shooter on the year. The front end is good. And that makes it 78-76. UMass led by as many as 11 points here in the second half after leading by 2 at halftime. And the Privateers came with a big counterpunch. Second shot for Thomas. Spins around, bounces in. 2:30 left. It is 79-76 UNO. UMass comes across midcourt with Jabari Hines. Gets to the foul line and playing with 4 fouls. Prestavius Gill cut off Jabari. Minutemen reset. Clark back to Trey Davis, who's got 30. Behind the line on the right wing. We've got a timeout called. UMass calls one, looked like from the bench. You can't do that anymore. Somebody on the court must have asked for it. With 14 on the shot clock and 2:16 on the game clock. 79-76 New Orleans right now in a stunner. We'll keep it right here.
And UMass had some timeouts to use that time. I don't think Derek Kellogg liked what was setting up offensively. Still 14 seconds on the shot clock. Trey Davis got hung up, almost tried to draw a foul on the pump fake. He had to give it up to Zach Coleman. And you know, it's important.
Talking about Clark, Hines, Davis, starting backcourt, starting front court, Holloway and Coleman. He's going, Coach Kellogg is with his starters.
Yeah, and a little more rebounding on the floor right now, too. Coleman and Holloway, probably the 2 best rebounders on the team. Trey Davis gets the first free throw to go. Best thing about that possession, too, was only 3 seconds went off the clock. Trey caught it, just drove it right to the hoop.
His 31st point. He is now 9 of 11 from the line. Here's the second shot. Nothing but cotton. 79-78. Trey Davis with a career-high 32. As we approach 2 minutes remaining, Nate Fry, the junior point guard, brings it across midcourt for the Privateers. Jabari Hines sticks on him as he moves left, still behind the stripe, moves back to his right. And now Kevin Hill's back in, the reserve forward who's been big. Hill played off on by Holloway, but he passes back to Fry. Shot clock at 8, now into the post. Hill up by 1 point, 5 to shoot. Left baseline, a fadeaway. Hill, air ball over Holloway. Rashawn got a hand in Kevin Hill's face. UMass rebound, and New Orleans fouls Trey Davis in the backcourt with 1:42 to go. And that's 60 feet away from the basket against Eric Thomas. 2 shots now the rest of the way.
Yeah, not sure why Eric Thomas is even anywhere near Trey. Kept his hands up in the air like he was trying not to foul him, but the little hip check trying to steer Trey in the other direction as he was pushing the ball quickly up the court. First free throw goes.
Tie game, 79-79. You know Trey, when he gets the ball in these situations, doesn't take long. Spins it, no dribbles, studies the rim. For the lead, he shoots and makes another one. 4 straight. All at the stripe from Trey. 34-point night. 80-79 Minutemen over UNO with 1:35 remaining. And Fry will bring it across midcourt as the crowd provides some noise. Kristavius Gill, left wing. He's had a big second half. He's behind the stripe. Davis on him. Gill drives around Davis, banks it up, around the rim and out. And a rebound by UMass's Rashawn Holloway with 1:20 left. Everything but the finish for Gill. And Jabari Hines gets it across midcourt, up by 1. Now fires over near the top of the key. Trey Davis gets the pass and backs it out. Shot clock at 13, game clock 1:05. Davis dribbling with his right hand out by the UMass logo in midcourt. Pass to Clark, and he's going to be bumped and fouled as he started his drive. Dante, a quick first step on that guard who's slower than he is, Cameron Reed. 2 shots for Clark with 59.9 to go.
And I think UMass was thinking about going 1-4 and just letting Trey Davis take his man off the dribble, but Trey and Dante kind of studied the defense. Dante realized he had a guy he could beat and went right by him. The foul on Reed.
First free throw was up. It rolled off for Clark. It's 80-79 UMass. Now the best he can do is make it a 2-point lead. Dante 5 out of 7. The foul line tonight, 22 points. And he'll have one more. Dante spins, bends his knees. The sophomore shoots and got it. 81-79.
I would expect New Orleans to go for a quick one here.
5-0 run, all at the charity stripe by UMass. Get the lead back. And now Fry over to Kristavius Gill in the red corner. Backs it out near the top of the key and fires to Eric Thomas. Takes it through the paint. Leaves it over for Kevin Hill against Holloway. 5 feet away, a jump hook. Good! Good by Kevin Hill over Rashawn to tie the game at 81. 35 seconds remaining. That's a tough shot, and Hill's had a huge night. 6 of 8 off the bench for 12 points. Now a 25-second game clock, 15-second shot clock situation for UMass. They're holding the ball with Dante Clark out near midcourt, guarded by Cameron Reed, who plays off him 35 feet away. Clark, stutter step drive. Clark around Reed, banks it up, missed it wildly. Rebounded by Hill. 10 seconds left, tie game. Hill up ahead. Gill shoots, missed the shot from 5 feet, but Dante Clark knocks the ball out of bounds. With 4.5 seconds left, it's UNO ball. Tied at 81. Kristavius Gill on the break had a shot for the lead that missed. Now the best UMass can hope for, I think, is overtime. 81-81. They're going to bring Seth Berger in for Rashawn Holloway. UNO does not have a timeout remaining. So here's the play for Coach Schlesinger's team. If they score, they pull a mammoth upset. It's going to be Nate Fry inbounding, baseline underneath. Tie game, 4.5 left. He fires to Hill. Kevin Hill, left wing, 15 feet away, shoots over Berger. Hit the front of the rim, no good. Buzzer sounds. Overtime at Mullins. And Kevin Hill got it on the rim. It was close to dropping for the win.
And worth noting there, a very quick substitution at the end of the game. Berger came in for Holloway, and he ended up guarding Hill on that last play. And you have to wonder if Holloway was in on the play. Hill could have gone right by him. Berger kept him in front, and he forced a very, very tough shot. Even though it was a clean look, he was kind of fading away from about, say, 14, 15 feet out left rim. And hit front.
Dante Clark. On the perimeter now, left wing is Coleman. Shot clock is at 12 as Trey Davis, who's got a career-high 34, gets the pass near midcourt. Trey steps back, takes a three, spins around, it goes out from the top of the key, and a rebound by Eric Thomas for the Privateers.
I thought he was going to give him a little rocker step and try to get something going to the hoop, but step back, shot a deep three.
UNO looking for the lead. They've got it on the right wing behind the line. Tevin Broyles, who's been quiet tonight. Clark playing off of him. And here is Christavius Gill, guarded by Trey Davis at the top of the key. Steps back. His three-pointer up off the back of the rim. So Gill and Davis miss threes. Rebound to UMass. Dante Clark. A minute into overtime. Fires to Hines. Right corner three. No good again. Rebound tipped by Coleman to Holloway. Puts it in off the glass as he's fouled Rashawn Holloway. 83-81 Minutemen striking first in overtime. Rashawn on the second chance basket.
Yeah, really good activity that time by Zach Coleman. He saw the shot was a little flat by Jabari Hines. Jabari had a wide open look in the right corner. Zach Coleman kind of took on two defensive rebounders, was able to get the first hand on the ball, tipped it over. I don't know if it was on purpose or on accident, but it fell into the hands of Holloway. He was able to finish with the left hand while taking the hit. A chance to maybe take an early three-point lead if he can knock this one down.
0 of 3 on free throws tonight. This one is good, though. It's a rare one he's made this season. 84-81 UMass. And Rashawn Holloway with 13. Big night against a smaller front line for the Privateers. 3:50 to go in overtime as Eric Thomas holds on the perimeter. Big man guarded by Zach Coleman. 20 feet away from the basket. Coleman reached in, couldn't get the steal. Thomas keeps it, goes to the left corner, a pass to Gill. Gill fires to the top back for Fry. Fry into the corner goes. Hill bangs inside, gets to the post. Shot no good, but they call a foul. And it's going to be two shots for Kevin Hill of UNO as Rashawn Holloway with the bump, his fourth. That was a helter-skelter possession for the Privateers, but it worked out for him.
And UMass really didn't even need to jump to shoot to try to block the shot. Hill was stuck, was kind of surrounded on the right block by Holloway and Coleman. They both jumped, and Holloway with the contact. Otherwise, Gill would have had to throw up a very tough shot.
And Kevin Hill hits his 13th point of the night. He was the one who missed the shot right at the end of regulation that would have won the game. So he's got 13, 1 of 1 at the line. Kevin Hill in the season came in just 53% at the stripe. 3:33 on the overtime clock, trying to make it a 1-point deficit is Kevin Hill. Big man shoots and calmly scores. So it's 84-83 UMass. Minutemen had scored 8 of the previous 10 points in this game. They trailed by 3 very late in the contest. UMass brings it across midcourt. Holloway remains in with 4 fouls for Derek Kellogg. Jabari Hines walks it across the time stripe, fires back near midcourt. Trey Davis. Davis lobbing into the post for Zach Coleman, who was being fouled as he tried to catch the pass. Fouled by Eric Thomas. 2 shots coming up for Zach with 3:20 on the clock. Each team is in the double bonus.
Kind of a funny play. They had Coleman posting like mid-post about 12 feet out on the left of the lane. And
he fouls out to him, Eric Thomas.
Yeah, that's a big loss for them. Thomas has had a nice game, 16 points, 13 rebounds, double-double for him.
That's a tough call for UNO, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he was just trying to edge him out for position. Really didn't put his hands on it. He kind of got him with the hip check down low. Reed was overplaying Dante Clark. Forced Trey Davis to kill the dribble, and he had to throw it over to Coleman, and Zach makes a big one.
Well, Zach Coleman has not been scoring very much at all of late. It makes it 85-83. Tonight, that was only his 3rd point. He's 1 of 2 at the line. Second shot, good. 2 big ones. 3:20 to go. 86-83. So Coleman, 4 points total. None bigger than those 2. Fry takes it inside. Got the contact from Jabari Hines. Nate Fry's bank shot curls off, but he's going to the stripe, and that for Jabari Hines is number 5. He has fouled out.
And not much Jabari could do there. Fry just went right at him, chest to chest. Jabari frustrated that he got called for the foul, just a little bit stronger by Fry on that play.
Another tough night for Jabari. Just 2 out of 12 from the field. 6 points, only 2 assists. He fouls out. After such a hot start to his senior season, the West Virginia transfer now really 4 games in a row where he's been struggling.
Yeah, I think not playing with a lot of confidence right now, and really started with the Ole Miss game where he got really held down by that Ole Miss defense, struggled to score the ball, and ever since then hasn't quite been the same.
So it's UMass 86, New Orleans 83. They used the time allotted to substitute for the fouled out player. 3:10 remaining in overtime. We're at the Mullins Center where the Minutemen earlier tonight had the banner recognition ceremony for former coach John Calipari. And what a game it's turned into with the University of New Orleans. Fry with 2 shots, and the first is no good for the junior point guard, who's now 2 of 3 at the line tonight. 6 points, 8 assists. This to make it a 2-point deficit. Nate Fry bends his leg, shoots the second, got it. 86-84 Minutemen. Jabari Hines was taken out. UMass just went bigger. They brought in Berger with Holloway and Coleman on the front line, so only 2 guards. Berger has it on the perimeter. Big guard Cameron Reed guarding Seth. And now over to Trey Davis, who has it at the top of the key. Davis goes to the foul line, fires to Coleman, and Coleman tried to fire it into Holloway in the post. Stepping right in front was Michael Zeno, who stole the pass.
Yeah, Coleman never saw him. Holloway was wide open. If the pass got through, he had his man on the block on his back, but snuck in there.
UNO trailing by 2, and Dante Clark bumps into Nate Fry 25 feet from the basket at the top of the key, and Dante picks up the foul. 2 shots for Fry again, trailing by 2 with 2:37 left.
Well, Dante's pleaded his case. He's saying the man that set the screen pushed him into Fry. Kind of domino effect that time. He pushed him into the little guard, but
well, he only made 1 of 2 a moment ago. 3 of 4 at the line tonight is Nate Fry. First shot good. 1-point game, 86-85.
Free throw shooting keeping New Orleans really in this game. They're now 15-17. Really good from the road team on the charity stripe.
Shooting into the end where the UMass students sit. Second shot, perfect for Fry. We are tied. 86-86. Here in overtime, and Derek Kellogg's going to get a timeout as UMass inbounds. He had 3 of them. 2:34 on the clock, and a tie game in overtime. This will be a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it right here.
Well, important to talk through here what you're going to do on the possession. You've got to, as Josh told you, got a little different lineup in here. I actually would have thought he would have brought C.J. Anderson into the game when Jabari Hines fouled out to give them another guard. They usually play with at least a 3-guard set, but they do have a different lineup, bigger lineup with Berger, and so Derek Kellogg got to make sure these guys are in the right position here and they can execute to try to get a bucket. Everyone so important here now. White shirts to be found, helping out underneath.
Tevin Broyles attacks Berger on the other end. Wild bench shot is good. Broyles only his 3rd hoop of the night, 88-88, 2 minutes left.
And New Orleans is tough. They just go right at you, and they've been finishing really well around the hoop. Right now, New Orleans going to drop into a zone against UMass.
Dante Clark over to Zach Coleman, right wing. Back to Clark, left wing. Studies, shoots the 3. Knocks it in! A deep, deep 3 for Clark. A new career high. And a triple that makes it 91-88 UMass. Only a minute and 40 left. Now an answer. 3 by Fry. No good over Clark. And we've got the ball knocked out of bounds. UNO, and it was with a foul by Michael Zeno. That'll give UMass 2 free throws with a minute and 33 left.
Coach Schlesinger for UNO, beside himself with all the contact there. A lot of contact. Dante Clark with Fry on the play. Clark went to the ground, but that's what left New Orleans with a wide open look at 3, and a good job by Zach Coleman battling underneath.
Yep, it was Coleman who was fouled. 2 shots, and the first is good to make it a 2-possession game.
3 big ones in a row from him down the stretch.
1:33 to go, Tim. 92-88. So the guy in Coleman who coming into the night was only shooting 57% at the line. So trying to make it a 5-0 run. How about Dante Clark, the previous 5 UMass points? Zach gets all caught. 93-88.
It's not going to pick up full court here, just a little bit of token pressure. Dante Clark kind of bleeding into the backcourt right now to pressure Fry.
2-possession game, 90 seconds remaining in overtime as Nate Fry walks across midcourt. They haven't been able to get anything for Kristavius Gill in overtime. Here is Tevin Broyles on the right wing, well behind the three-point line. Now got it back to Fry. Shot clock at 12. He's guarded by Clark, top of the key. Pass right wing, behind the stripe again is Broyles. He'll drive baseline, kicks it out, and there's Kristavius Gill. Open three, no good. Rebound knocked, grabbed back in there was Thibodeau. He kicks it out, Broyles. His three from the left wing, no good. 2 3-point misses. Rebound UMass. Trey Davis trapped in the backcourt, and a foul called on UNO. They say a push. Davis was on his way down, almost lost his footing. But they call a foul with 55.5 seconds left.
A heck of a job by Trey to keep his dribble alive on that play. He almost went to the ground. He was basically triple teamed. Nowhere to go. Right in front of the New Orleans bench. They bailed out. Was able to split the double team by Hill and Gill.
2 shots. First is good. 35th point for Trey Davis. This is one of the great scoring games we've seen in the Derek Kellogg era. You have to check it. I would imagine, I think the last time somebody has scored this many points in a game, you have to go to Ricky Harris. 36th point. Good. 95-88 on Trey Davis. Now 14 of 16 at the foul line, and they foul at midcourt. Fry was dribbling across, and Dante Clark put a hand onto his hip. Wally Brutecki makes the call with 51.5 seconds left. So it's 95-88, Minutemen on a 7-0 run, but 2 shots coming up for Nate Fry. Well, Fry has hit 3 of 4 from the foul line in overtime. 5 of 6 in the game for 5 of his 9 points. First shot is good. That'll make it 95-89. One more, Tim. If you're UMass, you're just going to have to get the ball in bounds after this, right?
Yep, exactly. Just get the ball to your free throw shooters. Clark, Davis, Zach Coleman here has made some big free throws down the stretch. So you got your big free throw shooters on the floor. And quick substitution here, C.J. Anderson in for Holloway to give another ball handle.
So one more coming up for Nate Fry. It'll be his 6th free throw attempted in overtime. He'll bend, he'll shoot, and score. He got it. 2 for 2 for Fry to make it 95-90. 51.5 seconds left. It'll be Berger to trigger the inbounds. Possession arrow does favor New Orleans. If they get a tie-up, ball goes into the corner. Trey Davis running up the far sideline, gets it across. Now playing keep away, and Trey is hit and fouled. Get 2 more shots. And they call that one on Zeno. So he's got 3, 47.4 remaining in overtime. UMass leading 3-5 New Orleans Privateers 95-90.
Yep, good execution that time. This is the guy you want the ball in the hands of, and Trey just a little tricky dribble up the court. Gets fouled. He gets another free throw to go. Now 15 of 17 from the free throw line. 37 points for Trey.
Unbelievable. Previous career high was 28 against Siena in the season opener last year. Guy was averaging only 14 points during the 3 games in the losing streak. Last 40-point game for UMass. You have to go back to 1968. 2 for 2. Made them both. There's number 38 for Davis. 97-90 Minutemen. And we're going to have a timeout called by Derek Kellogg. Taking a 30. He had 2 left with 47.4 to go. So 97-90. This has become a 7-point lead in large, Tim, because of what the Minutemen are able to do at the charity stripe.
Yeah, and doing a heck of a job and really executing down the stretch. You know, just getting the ball to the right guys. They were able to grab onto a fairly early lead in the overtime and just kind of have been able to milk the game away at this point. For Trey Davis that time, almost turned it over. They did get the quick foul, though. He's got a chance to score 30.
Tim, UMass is 9 for 9 at the foul line in overtime.
That's the way to win a game. That's for sure.
Dante Clark, 6 of 8 tonight at the charity stripe. Up by 7. First free throw. Good again. 10 for 10 in overtime. In the game now, that makes UMass 30 of 39 at the stripe. They lead it by 8. One more coming up for the sophomore from Charlotte. It gets quiet, he shoots, and he scores. So that makes it 99-90. 2 shy of the largest lead of the night. New Orleans brings it across, calls timeout. 32.3 to go. It's a 9-point UMass lead. We're going to keep it right here. Josh Maurer and Tim Collins.
What a performance by this backcourt. Trey Davis with 38. Dante Clark with 30. 68 combined points. 68 of UMass's 99 points of the game. It's over 2/3 of the scoring just from those two guys. And we're kind of looking through the record books here. Last time any UMass player had 30 in a game, it was Chaz Williams. And you mentioned the BYU game. He had 32.
Kevin Broyles. No timeouts left. UNO. It's 99-93. Inbound. Dante Clark gets it. He is wrapped up, fouled. 20 seconds left. Dante a little bit shaken up. He's going to get 2 free throws. He ran into Broyles.
Just kind of took a hard shot, kind of right under the chin that time to the upper chest area. Looks like he's going to be okay. They're going to give him a couple seconds here to shake it off. And Trey Davis on that last play tried to hold on to it and get fouled, but Orleans did a good job just taking it right away from him and basically shot it from the spot they stole it. Quick 3 points and a 6-point game now here with 19.6 on the clock.
And Broyles, who hit the 3, then called for the foul. Tim, he fouls out. So Broyles got into double figures with 10 as it's his 5th foul. Second privateer joining Eric Thomas on the bench with fouls. Clark, 2 shots. Up by 6. First one bounces off. The first free throw missed in overtime. They had been 11 for 11. Get one more. Try to get point number 100.
And Dante trying to still, I think, shake the cobwebs out. Shaking up a bit on that play. A little flat with that jumper. We'll see if they can get him to the triple digits here.
For the 100th point for the first time in a couple of years. No, he missed it way short. UNO gets the rebound with Nate Fry. 15 seconds left. 99-93 UMass. Fry walks across, throws to the left corner. Here is Coleman Edwards. Step back 3, air ball over C.J. Anderson. Berger the rebound. Berger's fouled with 8.4 remaining.
I think that's going to be your game-winning play right there. The last rebound UMass really needed. Good job by Seth Berger. I think New Orleans out of firepower for the night, but what a performance by this team coming into the Mold Center. UMass barely holding them off here.
And they had a shot to win the game at the end of regulation that very nearly went in. UMass is going to escape by the hair on its chinny chin. Berger going to the line, and another chance at point number 100. Here's the first shot. It's good. The century mark for UMass. 100-93. Berger, that's his first point since the first half. 7th of the night. Now he adds his 8th. 2 for 2. 101-93. Cross midcourt. Kristavius Gill. They'll let him get to the rim. Gill banks it in. 101-95. Long pass down the court to Trey Davis. Wrapped up. Fouled with 2 seconds left as he got all the way to the rim. A home run play. And then they fouled Davis to prevent a layup. But with UMass ahead by 6, Trey has 2 free throws to get to 40 points.
Yeah, not sure if Trey was going to shoot it or not. He almost could have called a flagrant on that play, but I think the referees just want to get out of the building and go home. Now with this game basically out of hand.
First shot, good. Trey Davis, number 39. Again, the last player for UMass to score 40 points in a men's basketball game, 1960s. Billy Tyndall, second shot. There it is, he's got it. A 40-point night for the senior. 103-95. Three-pointer from half court off the backboard for UNO. And this one ends.
Wow. I think a little longer than people thought. A little tougher than people thought, but UMass still gets it.
103-95. 2 players scoring over 30, including the first 40-point performance in about 5 decades for a UMass player. It's Trey Davis. An 18 for 20 performance at the foul line for Trey. The Minutemen, Tim, they won this game in the extra session at that charity stripe.
At the free throw line, you're right. Dante Clark